What is up, guys? Tonight's video is about confidence. It's about a couple key mindset shifts that'll help you to be more confident in any situation. I've recently heard confidence in competence. And what that means is you gain confidence as you become more competent. I really dislike choosing this definition and this framework for confidence, because that means anytime that you lack competence, anytime that you don't have skill in something, don't have any expertise, you don't have any knowledge in things, you won't be confident. And I think that's a pretty flawed way of approaching confidence. I like to think more as confidence is related to comfort. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Confidence first can stem in the comfort in who you are, the unique set of wisdom and experiences that makes up your story. However long you've lived, you've gained all sorts of unique experiences and unique skills and unique wisdom throughout your life. And you should be very comfortable in who you are in those, because it's incredibly unique. It's entirely you. No matter the situation you walk into, you will be there with that set of wisdom, skills, and experiences. I think a lot of times we have a mistaken focus whenever we go into a situation. We tend to be very inwardly focused. And what I mean by that is looking through a lens of what others might be thinking of us. We also then highlight, like our self-doubt takes center stage, becomes one of the main players in our mind. All the things that we lack becomes a main player in our mind. All the reasons we shouldn't be there, or that people shouldn't like us, or all the negatives that we can come up with if we let our brain run wild. But what instead should take center stage is all the experiences that you've had, the wisdom you do have, where you are incredibly competent, and where you have established and made it through very difficult things. Oftentimes, confidence or a lack of confidence comes from discomfort. And we need to detach those two things because they're not equivalent. Looking a little bit further is the idea of the spotlight effect. I want to incorporate this. And if you've never heard of this, the spotlight effect is a psychological phenomenon in which people tend to believe that others are noticing them far more than they really are. This comes from the fact that you're the center of your world, but you are not the center of everyone else's. And this is hard to relate because we don't get to see from anybody else's viewpoint. But everybody is walking around thinking they're being noticed far more than they are. And so this inward focus, it's very common. Everybody has it. And if you can break it and detach yourself from it, you will then be more confident. You just arm yourself with that knowledge that most people are thinking about what everyone else is thinking about them versus thinking about you. Secondly, I think you should take comfort in what you don't know. There's no downside there. There's so much in the world to know. You're bound to not know some of it. So any situation in which you go into, it's okay to not know. And what you can be is incredibly curious. And I think curiosity is something, if you equip yourself with curiosity, you gain a confidence in that, in your ability to question, and your ability to learn, and the ability to change your mind. Who you are today is not who you're going to be tomorrow or in a month. And you should have confidence that you're going to figure it out. But it might not be right now. And that's okay. That needs to be acceptable. That's a mindset shift. If you're looking for the permission to be confident, then I can give that to you. But I'm just a guy on the internet. And really, anybody could give that to you. But what good is that going to do? If you think that my permission wouldn't matter, then why would anybody else's? And the only permission that you need is yours. So go take a look in the mirror and start to understand. Start to define and understand who you are, who you've built yourself to be throughout your life. Confidence comes from life lived. If we use an old person for a thought experiment, someone towards the end of their life, right? They often wear what they want to wear. They do what they want to do as long as they're able. And they say what they want to say. And I think there's two key reasons for that. I'm not there, so I don't know. But just using it as a thought experiment, I think we could take a look at the first is how many years of life they got to live, how many years of experience they got to gain, all the life experiences that they do have and life wisdom. That arms them with a much better understanding of it, who they are. There's no doubt in that. That's an incredible basis for confidence. Secondly, the thoughts and opinions and views of other people become far less important compared to the amount of time that they have left. It's no longer a priority. As time becomes more valuable, those things become less valuable in return. And that's just a choice that we make. So I think there's two key takeaways here. Confidence is a product of a life lived, of life experiences, of wisdom, of comfort in who you are. And second, confidence is a choice of what's important. Whether it be your comfort with who you are or some external validation that doesn't really matter because they're mostly concerned with themselves. As for me, I'm confident in what I do know and what I've experienced and what I've learned, the skills I do have. I'm also confidently curious. I enter situations in which I do not feel comfortable expecting to learn, and yes, potentially fail. But I don't do so out of embarrassment. I think throughout our lives, we lose touch with what it's like to not be good at something. And so we don't venture out into these new territories, into these new adventures. And we limit our experiences, and that's going to limit your confidence. Confidence is a byproduct. It's not something you can go buy. It's not something you can exercise every day. The fake it till you make it kind of makes sense because you have to go make it. You have to do the things that will give you confidence, and at that point you will have made it. Discomfort is not the same as a lack of confidence, and we need to disconnect these two things. And so I suggest you do more uncomfortable things. This will give you more experiences, more wisdom, and more knowledge, which is then going to give you the byproduct of confidence. The end of your world is not going to be due to embarrassment, and it's not going to be due to discomfort unless you allow it to be. Be confident that you're going to experience failure. Be confident that you're going to be experiencing discomfort, but also be confident that you're going to make it through that, and that hopefully you'll learn from those experiences. You have till this point, so I bet you will keep on doing it. You can't lose if you don't quit.